Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me. So this was a topic that I wanted to come and talk about a while ago. I just now getting around to putting the video. Well, it's not really putting the video together, but getting what I wanted to say together. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Nature Boy. He was on YouTube. I believe he was kicked off of YouTube, and then he went to Beagle. Um, And to my understanding on Beagle, it wasn't just him, it was many of his members as well. He would have them go live because you can build a team of people on Beagle, but everybody has to go live and you have to put your face on camera. So that there are different rules for all these different social media platforms. And I believe Beagle, from what the guy was explaining to me, I believe it comes out of China. It's the origin of it. And then once they open it up to other places, they of course had to change the rules. Now, the guy that was explaining it to me while he was trying to explain how to use Bigo to me, he was telling me that at one time it was an adult, like an adult platform, right? I guess kind of similar to OnlyFans. And he said that if you're on there in the middle of the night, depending on if you're, because you can see people from different other parts of the world, right, on there. Um, he said you would see certain activity, and then I think once he kind of really opened up to America, however, I don't know, the rules started to change, and there's certain things you could not do on camera. You cannot have um, you can't have you're not supposed to have children on camera. It's just a lot. It was a lot of rules, and I think because they were an adult, that's why they put certain things in place. I don't know. This is what someone was explaining to me. Now, by the time I got on there, everybody was kind of already going over there, right, and setting up or whatever. So it was different. I didn't see any of the stuff that he was telling me that I could see. I mean, you got to see the girls on there dancing. I mean, you can go to Instagram and see that any too, right? People dancing and pictures of their body parts and all this stuff going on. So it's on Bigo as well. But like I said, Beagle is like you have a show and you have to go on camera and go live. And you have to go live for X amount of hours. So there, like I said, there are definitely rules to it. If you're trying to make money on there, because people can donate money to you, but you have to have a contract with them in order to get the actual money that people are sending you. But then, of course, you can put your Cash App and your Venmo like we do on all the other platforms as well, and people can donate to you that way as well. Now I'm just explaining Bigo to kind of maybe explain some of the stuff that he was probably doing on there. I'm not sure because I wasn't following him like that. I was very disturbed um, by watching some of the way that was building. And I said this before on my other channel. I started this. I was trying to put videos, and I was going to have this little segment called Cult Life, and I was explaining like some of the more infamous, I should say, cults and some of the leaders and how things happened and went down, right, for people who were a part of those cults in American history, right? Because these things have been out here for a very long time. Jim Jones is one of them, but there's several others. And then there's ones that people really don't know unless you're local to whatever city where they were set up, right? So it's a lot of the stuff going on, right? And so what they say in the teaching is that a lot of these cult leaders, they all are dealing with the same issues, multiple personalities. So this is why you hear and you see a lot of the same behavior, and then a lot of the same language. And why I'm saying this is because when you really listen to Nature Boy, and then go and listen to that documentary, I had it up on, like I said, but it's here somewhere on YouTube. You can go and find pieces of it. If I kind of put mine together to kind of put certain things so people can see certain things. But anything about Jim Jones is out here, okay? That's where I would get it from, right? And so you can hear how he's using the same tone and same language, same behavior as Jim Jones. He is the victim. He is the one that the world is mistreating. You know, he's can never be wrong. This it's not Malia, but Malia was one of the girls. I don't know. I guess it's another girl, Nateria. Now he's having all these issues with, and to my understanding, Nateria is the one who's bringing these charges against him. Like I said, I have not been following any of it. I know some of the people who were a part of his carbonation, they also have videos here on YouTube explaining what happened to them while they were there. And of course, one of his kids' mothers, Velvet, she is also here on YouTube, and I believe she was on Bigo as well. So she's, talks about a lot of stuff that she went through. Um, and so that's when people kind of realize, okay, this is not some web series. This is real. This is real life, especially when you start seeing these babies being made and the babies looking just like him, right? So it's highly disturbing, highly disturbing. I don't care who don't like what I say. um, it's not okay. Just because people have freedom of speech and freedom to say it and do certain things, do not mean that you should abuse that. And there is such a thing as abusing your freedom of speech, abusing your right to do certain things. Okay. So we're not going to pretend with that. But I want you guys to hear, because he called from jail. Well, I'm going to play the other video first where he's explaining how these people are my slaves. So I want you guys to hear him, and then I'm gonna play the other video where he calls from jail and starts sounding as if he's the victim. And then I want you guys to go and really do the research and look into Jim Jones, and you're gonna hear how much their tone and their language is very similar. Jim Jones was also um, fluid. I'll just call it fluid. He was fluid. He was sleeping with the men and the women. He was always trying to make it sound like I'm just trying to help people. I'm just trying to heal the world, because he was a preacher. Now, Nature Boy or Three Guy, whatever y'all want to call him, is not a preacher. So he's definitely coming from a different angle. And maybe this is generational, the way he is using certain things to influence these people to come behind him. But he's not a preacher. He's just, and then I see someone here on YouTube try to, it's everything. Like they try to badmouth hip hop. They try to badmouth the conscious community as well. I know the difference between a real conscious community and somebody that's not. Okay. This guy flips in and out of his blackness, and you're going to hear that as well, because you're going to hear him say, whatever you do, don't listen to black folk. Okay. So he's not in the conscious community, and he never was. Just because somebody is black do not mean that now everybody is hip hop and everybody is the conscious community. We gonna stop that, okay? And we're gonna get called out when we doing stuff like that, because we see what you guys are trying to do with that. Okay, so I'm gonna play the video now.
Shorty. I remember when you only called the girl shorty, right? And I remember watching the world start calling men shorty. I remember I was in Maryland. I never forget when that first happened. And everybody started calling men shorty. That was weird. Then all of a sudden, niggas start wearing tight jeans. Now, New York was big on not wearing tight clothes growing up. It was big on it, right? Appreciate it, Zach. Big. Guess what? Everybody in New York wear tight jeans right now. Unfortunately, this shit was supposed to be gay. But everybody, every rapper and everybody was saying that shit was whack. What I'm telling you is, don't listen to black people. Because be different as possible, my nigga. Because people always will say that they don't like something and they wind up doing it anyway. I'm just telling you what the future is. All of you women out there that's getting paid, getting flued out, all of y'all women that's getting a bag because of how you look, and these white men is worshiping you behind closed doors. They're telling you that you are the goddess of this planet, and they're paying you to do it, and you're actually gaining your self-esteem by doing it. Okay? So a following means something. That means those are the people that actually are worshiping you. When you put a picture online and some people are like, oh my God, and you get 30,000 likes on it, whether it's good or bad, if they're paying attention to you, they're worshiping you. A motherfucker could be like, fuck you, motherfucker. You're worshiping the person because you're giving them your energy and your attention. It doesn't, even if you're just looking at them, you're giving your energy, your attention to something else. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're still worshiping what you look at. You worshiping what you give your energy to, whether you know it or not. So let's just keep it all the way real. I'm the three God. These are my motherfucking worshipers. And that's what the fuck they do. They sit around and look at me all day in awe. Everything that I say, they stuck on me. It don't matter what I do. It don't matter what I say, they're going to be there. That's how they are, because I'm a God. True, stand up. Bark like a dog. Stop. Jump up and down. Stop. Sit down. You see, it don't matter, bro. These people been, I'm God. These people, they will do anything I ask them to do. These people will not leave me. Y'all niggas done took me away, locked me up in motherfucking Nicaragua. They could have left. All these people could leave, bro. These people, they don't want to leave. These people here to serve and worship me. I'm just being real with you. Stand up. No, you stand up. Bark like a dog. Make a bird sound. Can I do anything I want with you? Who is your God?
Three God.
Sit down. You see, and I've been like this for a long time, but I'm out. I'm coming out. I'm tired of hiding this shit. I'm God. There's people worshiping me. They're not going nowhere. They'll do anything that I ask them to do. And all I want to do is spread love and my
Okay, I
knowledge.
don't
So
know
I
if
use
this
these
is
people
still going or
to
not.
do things that I'm trying to say and express things I'm trying to say because you need followers. You need followers to be somebody. You know what I'm saying? You just need attention. All gods need attention. Period. Everybody
Anyway,
has a brand. Everybody gets a brand. They
the
hide
video
behind this
cut
brand
off.
and they're trying
But
to
for the
offer you
most part, you
something so
guys
that you
could
can
hear what he's
worship them
saying,
with your
right?
money.
Can you guys hear me? I don't know what happened. He is talking to those people like that and telling them to jump up and down. He's gotten all this stuff. Now the other video that I wanted to play, I'm just gonna play the audio because for whatever reason the video wouldn't go up. But let me find it really fast. But he was okay, so this is him calling from jail. And he is talking to some of the people that were still in the house. Now, there's a young lady, I don't know how young, but her name is Mama Lo, and she is. If you go to Bingo Live here on YouTube, you can see the video. The night he was arrested. Some of you guys have probably already seen it if you're familiar with him. I'm sure everybody was kind of covering this when he got busted. He is based in DeKalb right now. The last time I think I heard anything about him, he was somewhere else, and I would think it was Panama or somewhere because he's been moving around. And he's, to my understanding, from what I'm reading from the media, the real media, he's been getting kicked out of places. And so I guess he went to Georgia, and he was in DeKalb County, and Georgia's not gonna really play with that because they were high on the list for human trafficking at one time. So they're not gonna play with people when you come thinking you're gonna run to Georgia and start doing all this crazy stuff to people, right? It's probably not gonna go down the way you think it's gonna go down. And I think that sometimes people think that they can go and blend into certain situations and people won't say anything. I don't know. I don't know why he went to Georgia. But yeah, they were very high on the human trafficking list a few years ago. I don't know if they still are or not, but I know that they definitely have been kicking in people's doors and businesses and everything. People doing certain, illegal trafficking young children, trafficking young women, and immigrants, people who didn't necessarily have citizenship, and maybe they're bringing them here from wherever and selling them and doing all kind of crazy stuff, making them work certain places. It was a lot of that going on, and a lot of people were getting busted. And so they're not going to play with him, and I don't blame them, because he went in front of the judge and they said bail denied. Now I think that they're saying it's this Nefertiti girl. I'm going to let you guys listen to the conversation. Like I said, some of the people were left in the house, but on that video with Mama Lo, what happens is somewhere in the end of her video, there's this guy. And I only can see the shadow. I'm telling you now, you're only gonna be able to see the shadow. But they were saying that it was a white guy that was there. I guess that was one of the members. That's what I'm saying. Miss me with the conscious stuff, because he was flipping in and out, saying all kind of crazy stuff, as you can hear. So there's nothing conscious about somebody like that. Okay, so we know what the conscious community stand for. People have to talk, they walk, and when they're not walking, they talk. They're not whatever it is that they telling you. I don't care what they telling you. If they not walking it, they not it. Okay, so we shouldn't have to explain that to people. But anyway, the guy was the only person that wasn't arrested that was there at the house. And so Mama Lo, I think that's her name, I don't know, but she was reporting on her Beagle page, and she was saying that he was probably like an agent. He was probably undercover. And even the Nefertiti girl, maybe she kept going, because they kept saying she was going Neteria or Nefertiti, something like that. They were saying, you're going to hear them saying that she kept going back and going back, and maybe she was collecting evidence, so that's why she was going back. I don't know, but see, common sense is not common when you're out here doing a bunch of fool la la anyway. So I'll let you guys listen to their conversation, because I don't even know why they were having this conversation while he was in jail. But you're going to hear the voice that you hear. Even if I showed you guys the video anyway, you're not going to see him, right? You're just going to see somebody holding up the phone. But you're gonna hear him trying to make it sound like he's so innocent and all this stuff, and he don't know, he forgives her. That's what he's gonna say. And I think I picked the video up at that part, because this is like a 20-minute video, but I'm not playing on it. I just wanted to give you guys a feel of what he was saying from this call, to some of the people that were still, I guess, who didn't get arrested. Now, I don't know if those other people that was with him, if they were arrested or not. I mean, if they're going to be held or not. The media only showed him in front of the judge. They did not show all the rest of the people, but you could see from that video that several people were taken in. Maybe they were taken in and released. Maybe they were just trying to make sure they had the right person, right? So maybe that's why they took everybody that was in the house. So I'm gonna play the video. I'm just gonna play the audio. Let me see.
I want everybody to know that shit though. Like, I literally forgive her, bro. In this moment, I want the world to know I forgive Material for what she did. Yeah, I do too. She can stay her ass at her grandma's house too. That don't mean that's good. That's good. She can stay her ass at her grandma's house. That don't mean she gotta come over here. My heart won't hold any revenge. No, it's real love. My heart not gonna hold no revenge. My heart doesn't feel anything like revenge toward or anger toward her. Nothing. I feel nothing. I just feel love in my heart. That's it. That part. I just feel love. That's it. I forgive her. That's it. I stay with you though. You gotta swipe up on the thing now and come back in Instagram. I'm just letting y'all know that I was conditioned. That's very much true. Because you're Christ. My love is on our condition.
Nah, but that's some real shit though. That's some real shit to say you can forgive somebody and you in this type of situation.
That's chief. He's so forgiving from behind. The reason why I can do it is because I know that Cherry knows she's wrong.
I feel sorry for her, and I really do. Like, you know what I mean? I know this is not going to prevail, and even if it did, I forgive her because I never want her. I never want to become her. Whatever she did, that's her. I'm still gonna remain who I am and stay on my purpose and my path. I don't got no hard feelings for her because obviously somebody's making a biggest. You know, it's a battle, but she gotta live with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Pushing through.
He's probably putting a battery in the bag.
Yep.
Saying he's probably better off. He's better off not being here. You'll free the people. Like y'all gonna go somewhere. We're gonna stay together. We'll stay together. We're gonna continue to be. Even if I'm behind a wall, we're gonna be together.
Yeah.
Pushing
Yeah, he'll be okay. If I'm locked up, we locked up.
Everybody's locked up.
Pushing three.
Pushing three.
Yeah.
We been locked up. Together. Been locked up.
He'll be okay. Just tell him to make sure he keep. Tell him to make sure he keep Brandon posted though. Make sure you keep us posted with what's going on.
You know, so lot of contact. I'm gonna be in touch with him. Cause even reaching out.
Which can't prevail. Let us know what's going on. And shout out to all the guys stepping up. Yeah, let us know.
Hey, one more time, my chief.
I said shout out to all y'all stepping up, and I appreciate everybody that supported me. You know, sharing love and support and trying to get a real nigga out of these situations because I'm not guilty. And I'm being falsely accused, regardless if you like me or not. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
Right.
So yeah. So what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. Well, I don't know. You know, I noticed that they said that he something about electronic what does it say about the pictures? Something about pictures or something that he is on the arrest. Electronic transmission of sexually explicit pictures or nudes. So I don't know if this is something he was. That's why I was kind of trying to explain the whole Bigo thing. This is something he was putting out on Bigo or somewhere else. I don't know. And in the video is about 25 minutes long, so I'm not going to play their whole video conversation. But he does inform them to erase materials and stuff, erase whatever is on, I guess, his phone. Because in the video when he's getting arrested, you can hear him telling somebody to get his phone or his wallet or something. But obviously, you know, you're not taking that into the jail cell with you, okay? They're going to take all that stuff from you when you walk in the door. So he wasn't going to be able to do anything with the phone. And so maybe it was released to one of the other people and he just told them to delete whatever is on there. I don't know. But I would imagine since they're saying the FBI went in that house, that they went in there and they grabbed as much stuff as they thought they could that would assist with their case against him. Now, yeah, I don't like hearing stuff like that, especially when those babies started coming into play. Like that was highly, highly, highly disturbing. And then there is video that's even here on YouTube where he was saying about he will do whatever in front of his kids, right? And so yeah, it was just a lot. It was a lot, and I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how all of this play out. Like I said, they keep saying that this one young lady's name, but to my understanding, there were several people who had grievances against him, and I don't know what all he was doing to them or not. I know I was listening to one of the young guys that was on here who said he went over there. He was kind of trying to explain why he went over there. He was just trying to, find something to belong to, get away from just the life of whatever city he was living in. And he said that, it was cool at first, and then he started, the real him started to come out, especially when they were not on camera, right? He was locking people in closets, for hours, beating people, giving them all these strict rules or whatever, making the women sleep with people that he told them to sleep with. They were not able to connect with people based on my personal attraction to you. He had to set up those relationships and stuff like that. You giving somebody that type of control over you is a lot. I don't. But the young man was saying that he's much happier that he was able to walk out of that situation. To my understanding, there have been a bunch of other people who went over there and came back to wherever they were from, and they have very similar stories. And so when those cameras are it maybe to some people, because he had a lot of people following him on Beagle and stuff, they may find, and some people love other people's misery, right? Some people find humor in watching women get abused and watching people get treated a certain way. I don't know. That was certainly not something that I was going to sit and watch. My whole point was I was going to report that he was just out there because I feel like people need to be aware of stuff like that. Like, after that whole Jim Jones situation and some of the other ones as well, some of these stories that came up, the Dr. York's, I said I was going to do that video about him, and I'm still going to do it. I probably put it up on my Patreon because I haven't started using my Patreon yet. Because his story is all of the stuff is very similar. When these people are, flipping in and out of these personalities, one minute they talking about they Indian, and then the next minute they screaming how black they are. The next minute they are aliens, and they are so attracted to men because I think they're attracted to men, and the next minute they have to have all these wives. And I think for him, he started out just taking women over there, and I think that's when the young girl Velvet had got caught up in all of that. And then when people started getting familiar with him, and I guess people, because I think he's from New York as well, or somewhere on the East Coast, I don't know. But somebody put up a film of him when he was like, I don't even know how legal it is for that to be up. Okay, so let me go and put that out there because I've thought about that as well. Because I think they said that he was like 16 in this movie, in an adult movie, with this white guy, and the guy was acting as a doctor, and he was the patient. Anyway, and so that's when it kind of came out that he was not who these girls thought he was, right? You know, everything that glitters is not gold. Okay, just because somebody's attractive, you need to dig deeper than that physical. Okay, every time. And so that's when he started to tell the truth about his sexuality. And then all of a sudden you started to hear all this other stuff, and then the whole thing just kind of went haywire, right? Like you just start hearing all these crazy stories. There was an older lady that died out there wherever he was. I think he was in Costa Rica at that time. It's just been a lot of disturbing stories. And I think Malia was the girl that kept going back and forth to the hospital. Sweet Ma, she's another YouTuber. Sweet Ma for Life is her page. I know she would cover him a lot, and I used to watch her videos and stuff. But as far as me like watching him, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. It's just not. I can't stomach stuff like that. Um, but I would watch her reporting on it, and she was saying how some of the women were getting abused. And I think a part of this situation where that he's getting arrested for is he told the other women to beat up the Nateria young lady. I think that's her name. He had the other women when she went back to beat her up, and that's what I was saying. She could have been the agent. That's just my theory. I don't know, because if she kept going back there, maybe she was going back there to get. I don't know. And I don't blame the government for going in there and putting a stop to that either. So don't come over here with that. I'm not the one, two, three, four, five, or the six. Okay. So don't come over here with that at all. I don't condone anybody harming anyone. I don't care what color they are. So don't ever come to me with that about nobody's blackness. Because if you care so much about being black, you would care about being black. period. And I'm not going to have no other discussion. I don't owe nobody nothing out here. So please don't come over here with that nonsense. And I don't, with the guilt, the fake guilt trips about how we're supposed to be protecting each other. No, we're not. Not when you're harming a black woman. Not when you're harming a black child. No, we're not. So don't come over here. But anyway, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I just wanted to, because I was saying that I did a video on him, and he, I was on his Beagle one time, and I guess he kind of knew who I was because he was calling himself trying to cuss me out, and then he was cussing this other lady out. I don't even use my Beagle account too much anymore, but I noticed that he had moved from YouTube to Beagle, and then, like I said, because he could have all those people set up and they could be getting paid on their pages. And to my understanding, he takes all of their money. So, and this is the same story with the Jim Jones and all the rest of these cult leaders. This is what they do. They take all these people's personal belongings. So you have to rely on them. So all of this stuff it's all the same, it is very much cult-like behavior. But you guys can let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And I don't know when his next court date is. I don't know what the evidence is. And I don't know if Nateria is, in fact, the person that reported the R word and the kidnapping, because I think that's also a part of what they're holding him for. I don't know if she was the one. Like, it's several women that were there, and several women that have been there and gone there and left, and some of them went back and left again. Obviously, he has children with some of these girls. To my understanding, I know at least two. So obviously, they can't just, they may feel like they can't just walk away from him because he is the father of their child, and so they may have some form of connection with him from time to time. I don't know. But it's all disturbing. You guys can let me know what you think about it in the comments, about the arrest, about the no bail, about the charges. As you can hear in the call, he was saying that he didn't do any of these things, that she's just saying that. Um, but if they're saying they have video of anything, then and they're using that as a part of the charge, then that's the evidence right there that something obviously took place. And I also want to talk about how a lot of his setup reminds me of that Charles Manson situation as well. Remember when Charles Manson, who was also a cult-like leader, had those people following behind him, and then he had them going out and doing all kind of crazy stuff, and they end up killing actress Sharon Tate and her baby and whomever else was in the house with her. So, this type of behavior is very dangerous when people are getting, and who's to say what all he's doing to these people? He could be giving, it could be sleep deprivation, it could be all kind of stuff going on, he could be giving them drugs, hallucinating drug, all kind of stuff could be going on, to make them act a certain way, right? Because you see how they were acting in that video. And nothing about that is normal behavior, okay? So we're not going there. Um, so I don't know, what's going on, but I'm glad that something is happening. And if nothing else, the government is aware of who he is and what he's out here doing. I think they were aware of him anyway when the whole COVID thing, when they were arrested back then for violating the quarantine rules, but in Hawaii. And I think that when I was reading, they were saying that he went from Hawaii to California, and then I think he moved again. So I don't know. And after this situation, I'm sure he's probably, if he's released by chance or whatever happens, he may try to move again to some other place. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. 3 charges for revenge porn. Oh, okay. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I know, like I said, that guy was explaining to me when the very first time I went on Bigo, he was explaining to me that at night, you could see some adult behavior on there, like some real adult behavior on there. And so, and I, of course, never went looking for that, but, and I never saw it just in chance, by chance. I just never saw it. But somebody was explaining it to me. So I don't know if he put it on Twitter or if he put it on Bigo or wherever. But yeah, if they have anything that's recorded, then that is evidence against him, whether he likes it or not. But let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.